All right. Okay, guys. So for this week, a lot of nuggets, a lot of gems, you know, in the journaling process that I've dropped, right? And I have gone pretty deep on the explanations of everything on the journaling process in terms of updates and improvements as well is all done over there. So I'm not going to bother with going over the same things on this. So just it's a long one, right? Because I've already edited most of it. So I know it's going to be a long one, but sit back tight, enjoy, and take some notes. All right. Take care, guys. Have a good trading week ahead. Peace.
Okie dokie, people. This new week's going to be a blessed week for us once again, and I am pretty confident on that. I will show you why, because as we've analyzed the setups over the weekend, they do seem to be playing out as we want to already. USD CAD is interesting, right? As we saw, it has closed this gap that was here previously since early March, and my plan is for it to touch down towards this key level over here, potentially the fib level, and show us what it wants to do, right? I'm going to wait for price to show us its hands first before we either take a long on this, which will go with the overall weekly trend, right? It seems to be making an uptrend pattern, or maybe on daily, it may continue to fall further, at least towards this trend line, right? And then we can decide if it was to reach the trend line, what we want to do with it next. Okay. GBP AUD, interesting, right? We made like 3 candles over here, making a tweezer bottom-like formation at the trend line and monthly key level area. When we go into the 4-hour, we can see that it's actually ranging, right? And in the range, today price did try to break out. It's actually closed straight back into it. Don't need anyone to be calling my phone right now. Price tried to move up, close back straight into it, and let's see if it wants to break to the upside. If it does, we'll place an entry over here upon a proper retest, and then place a stop loss around the bottom of the range box. Let's move on. Sorry if this is kind of long. So initially, the first journal for the Monday will kind of be a bit longer because I'm just going through the potential setups coming up. And then after that, as the day develops, as the week develops, it will just be the trades that I'm in or the trades that I'm about to enter kind of thing. Euro JPY. Oh, yeah, we don't. As we discussed on the previous video, it was losing momentum over here, made a doji, and as I anticipated, it was going to make a shooting star-like formation. Now, if it was to reject off of this and fail to close below this, I will be taking a long because it's a retest of this previous lower high structure over there. As the trend has switched, right? It's now made a high high, right? It's no longer a downtrend. But another thing could happen is it may even reject, it may even break this, retest this as resistance, and I will take a trade only up till this area over here, right? Which will be a retest of the long-term trend line that we have going on over here. So that will be more like intraday like trade, but I'm a bit 50-50 on the trade for a short on this. If it does show me rejection for a long, I'll definitely take that. But the short, I'm a bit 50-50. We'll see what my mood is, how the market is feeling, all of that. GJ is showing us rejection over here, monthly key level, tweezer top light formation. But right now I'm going to stick away from it unless it wishes to pull up to this key level and fib level over here. It gives us a little bit more of confirmation for a short if it shows us rejection. Finally, we have Euro GBP going on over here, which is interesting right now, right? So it broke out of this range, it's gone up. It was trading within this range that we managed to catch moves, to the up and bottom of the range. If we look into the 4-hour, we can see that, price has rejected off of this level over here, right? Wick, a bit of a doji-like pattern with a bearish push lower, but it wasn't sustained, right? Even though it was a Maribozu, price moved straight back up within this and is now kind of just moving around. There's no clear price action signal suggesting it wants to go higher just yet though, right? Because as we know, there is this head and shoulders formation, which has also been completed. So it may be that, price does want to come lower rather than go higher. So depending on what kind of signal we can get across different time frames, I will enter either long or short on this. DXY, right? This is interesting. It is at a key level for us where price has previously only shown wick rejection, failing to close below it. And what it suggests is, right, this is important. So if the DXY was to break below this, then for example, the USD CAD, that will come down, and the Aussie dollar and Euro USD, they will go up, right? However, if it was to reject this and go upwards, then the USD CAD will go up and the Euro USD and Aussie dollar will go down. So I'm just going to wait and see what this suggests before entering any of the US dollar pairs, most likely. And they're not exactly where I want them to be just yet as well. Okie dokie, people. It is coming up to about 7 p.m. On the Tuesday evening. Just want to run through a couple trades that I'm going to be in. Well, this Euro GBP trade, I actually entered this last night just before bed. And this was on the basis of there being a head and shoulders formation over here, which you can see better on the 4 hour, and then a break outside of this range box. And that is where I entered, right? It was a break outside. I was hoping it just retests it and then comes lower, but it's actually gone up. However, this low, like previous low, I guess you can say, I did place my stop loss 15 pips above it. So, we're at a good stop loss level. So I thought, you know what, even when price did get over here, when I checked this morning, I was cool with it, letting it run a little bit and, see if it does want to reverse. And it's done exactly that. So it's made a bearish engulfing like candle at the 6 o'clock close for the 4 hour candle. So hopefully it can come further lower and continue our downwards bias on this one, which seems more likely. It initially did break the the range box to the downside with a retest. However, it has gone up for now, but let's see how that works out. But the main thing is, it has made this it has made this head and shoulders formation. So let's see how that goes. On top of that, if we go on to GBP Chef, this is what I've just entered right now. Well, I've put a pending order in. Let's see if it gets triggered. Well, so this is on a downtrend. It's gone up, right? Rejection at this double top area. Rejection at this level to make a double top, sorry. And then a rejection at the fib level as well, right? However, what I can see, initially, I actually want to take a trade lower, right? Because as we can see on daily, it's made this evening star-like formation, right? Most recently, off the double top area. However, it's currently stalling around this level, one thing, right? But previously it had actually broken it and it was retesting it, right? When I was looking at it, I would think about 4 o'clock. However, since then it's made this evening star-like formation. It's not the strongest evening star. So let's just see how this one turns out. But it's coming back for a retest of after breaking this range box as well, and I will be taking a long on this, which goes along with our Euro GBP short. Initially, what I was going to do was, if it actually showed rejection off of this and broke to the downside, I'd already placed a pending order for a sell just below this with stops over here, right? Because that would be going along with the downtrend. However, I favor the Euro GBP more right now. So this is kind of like, it correlates inversely, I guess you can say, to that. So if I'm shorting that, I will be longing this. And initially, I just want to long it to this key level over here. And if we were to break that, which would basically mean breaking the double top, that is where I will actually long it further, right? But initially, just more like an intraday-ish like trade. Because it also actually goes with the GBP USD. So GBP USD is actually broken this triple top level. If it was to break out of this range box that I've drawn on 4 hour, that will be a long. And another reason is actually, if I was to drag this out a little bit, we can see that when price broke out over here, that's the high it made, right? But since then, the following candle, which was yesterday's Monday candle, it's not closed above it. So I want a candle to close above this to signal that, you know what, yes, it does have the bullish push momentum going and it will go further up. But let's see how that turns out at the 10 p.m. close, and that's when I'll probably check in again. All right, that's it for me for now. Peace. All right, people, let's get straight to the journal. I think I missed one maybe yesterday night or something like that, but we'll go with it. I'm just going to explain everything right now. Okay, cool. So markets have been a little weird this week, I must say. For my style of trading, it's just not been going the way we wanted. For example, Euro GBP, we wanted it to go to the downside on the break of the range box and the completion of the head and shoulders pattern. Not done so. It's just come and broken our well, taken us out at stop loss. And because I was in this Euro GBP trade, right, I was so married to the bias of it moving down. Basically, because the other pound pairs, right, they correlate inversely to it. So if Euro GBP is going up, for example, GBP Chef is coming down. I was caught with that bias in my mind, right? So because I wanted Euro GBP to go down, even though, right, even though I should only be taking short trades over here because this is what it's suggesting, right? For it to be short. Price was in a downtrend, come up for a retracement, made a double top, rejecting this previous level over here, rejecting off of this fib level. It should be going down, but I think I definitely made one entry for a long on this, maybe two, and that's because imagine I was initially short. Well, I entered to go short on this, but then I took the short trade out and thought, you know what, let's go long on this instead. Don't ask me why. It's just because I was married to the bias of this going lower, right? Again, you know, sometimes I don't realize it when I'm doing it, but then once it's done, you know, hindsight bias is a bitch, man. But it's good. It's good. We move along. GBP USD is I actually didn't enter this. What I did enter twice was GJ again on a long above this level over here with extremely tight stop losses and got taken out both times. I think first time it was a 2% trade, second time it was just a 1% trade. But then again, I should have known, you know, right now is not the time to be longing this, right? There weren't many signs for me to long it, especially the second time I entered. The first time, yes, you know, the daily candle actually didn't close past this support level over here. So, you know, it could have been on that, but that even still wasn't a strong enough confirmation for me. It's just, I guess, the fact of wanting to be in a trade, right? But lesson learned. Another thing that's happened is GBP AUD, right? I kept stalling to enter it, stalling. And what it has done now is it has moved the way I wanted it to. So initially the trade was going to be from like over here, going all the way up. However, I thought maybe I'll make this a 1% trade over there. And, you know, because the stop loss is too big, I wanted something of a nicer return. So I'll make a 1%, a tighter stop loss, another trade equaling to another 1%. But I just didn't end up entering it. I placed the orders. I took them out because I wanted to go into the GBP Chef and GBP JPY trades instead. I mean, it's a good thing in a sense because this 1% would have been taken out because of that spike over there. This was much prior to that. However, once the spike had happened, I should have entered again, right? It's just because what had happened with the GBP Chef and GBP JPY, I was getting hesitant to enter again, especially on a pound pair, even though this had followed the analysis to the T, exactly how I wanted it, right? I wanted a break above this range box over here, come down for a retest. What a beautiful retest and rejection over here we have as well, and then move up, right? Got to stick to the plan. However, we do have a couple things lined up right now. Again, right? It's the hesitation, right? That's coming into play right now. Usually I'm a bit more decisive with what I want to do, how I want to do it. But this week, quite a lot of indecision. Initially, my idea was to place a buy limit over here, right? Literally, the plan was to place it at the level, at the fib level. But realistically, I would have placed it over at the key level, right? With about 20 pips further out from the fib over here. Didn't end up doing that. Don't know why. I really don't. But it is what it is. There is another entry because I could have just entered that for 1% because it's quite uncertain, right? You don't know if it's going to break below it and come down. That's initially what was in my mind, right? If I place a buy limit over here, I don't know if price wants to continue breaking it or it's going to tap it and reject, right? It's not clear confirmation, but it was in my mind, it was the most likely thing to happen for it to continue the uptrend on this daily, right? However, there was a possibility of it coming down and making a third touch on this trend line. But I could have entered on a 1% and then entered again over here, which is a level I marked out yesterday or a couple of days ago for a long, right? We've seen a lot of support and resistance over here. Upon a break of this level over here and a retest, right, I will be longing this pair. So let's see how this fares. And yeah, I'll probably be in a trade on this today. Same following suit with this. We've got Aussie dollar, US dollar, right? Initially, I would have shorted the pair over here. However, to be fair, this may have taken me out because usually, realistically, right, I probably would have placed 30 pip stop loss. And this went to, I think, about 36, 40 pips. All right, so say we place it. Yeah, roughly about 40 pips. So it may have taken me out and then come lower, right? But it is what it is. The other thing was, and initially that was not in my plan. It was only to take a long up over there, but it would have been a really nice risk reward entry if it did pay off for us. The plan was though for us to take it on a break of this, and which is exactly what it's doing right about now. Going to see how the 2 o'clock candle fares, right? Just where exactly price is wanting to close, and upon a retest of the key levels, take the short, right? So, for example, we've got that over there. It's made a level over there, right? So that is about 45 pips. So we're going to place a stop loss 15 pips past that. So let's go to about 60 pips and take it down to over there, which gives a good risk reward ratio of 1 to 3. Usually I don't trade with a 60.4 pip stop loss. It will just be 60. So usually what I do is I'll go in there, fix everything up. For example, the entry. So what we got over there, 6920. I'll go for 60 odd pips there, and I'll just round this up to about, right, so it gives us like a cleaner risk reward rather than points and stuff. It's just nicer for me. I like the rounded numbers rather than having half pips and stuff like that. I don't know, it messes up with my OCD. But yeah, that's all. Let me show as well the MetaTrader, because obviously we've not won any trades this week, so we're back down lower. It's about 11% negative on the account, I want to say, but we do have a couple of trades lining up with the USD CAD and Aussie dollar, US dollar. Hopefully we can pull it back and still hit break even. So I'm still optimistic, right? We've still not lost hope of hitting break even this month, but let's see how that plays out, right? Most likely after I place this trade, I'm going to go focus on something else rather than finding way too many entries and decreasing this even further. And the main thing that I've realized this week is taking stupid trades, right? Trades that make no sense, right? They don't like have any head or legs. It doesn't make sense. At the moment, I may convince myself that, okay, this seems like a good trade, it's going to work. But sometimes even when I enter the market, I realize that, what, this wasn't a good idea. But I think the ego over there is too much for me to say that, oh, no, I want to, I'm going to cancel the trade, right? Because I'm in it, I want to see it play out. And even if it hits stop loss, it hits stop loss. But that is a shitty mentality, because if it hits stop loss, it's decreasing the money in your balance. It's taking money away from you, and that's, no one wants to lose money, right? So that's that. But yeah, I'll probably expand on it when I do the proper journaling. All right. So I actually recorded this earlier. Just want to, well, it was only like 10 minutes ago, but I've just gone to look for the file just to organize everything, and it's not there. I don't know why. So here we go again, round 2, baby. And ignore the look, because I'm probably looking worse right now than I did in the previous video. But let's get it. So we got AUD USD. So I'm gonna just explain the trades I'm in right now. Got Aussie dollar, US dollar right now from this area over here, right? Price broke out, gone up, bit of resistance, noticing around this area over here, right? And it's moved lower. So I've entered over there for a 1% position for a 1 to 2 risk to reward. It's gone to about over 50 pips over here. So I took partials, and obviously I've placed into, what do you call it? I've placed a stop loss into break even, but this trend line over here seems to be holding a bit too strongly, right? So it's not showing any signs of break. So let's see. I do want to see maybe like show some sort of like a wick outside of this trend line, just to come to this low over here. That's where I place the take profits as well. That'd be nice to hit tonight. If not, I may be manually closing this trade. Similarly, we've got USD CAD going on over here. Price has gone up, broken this resistance, come lower. It's better to see on the 2 hour actually. When you go into the 2 hour, we can see it's a hammer formation over here, right? So I've placed my entry just at the high of the hammer formation. If we actually go deeper into the 1 hour, you can see it was a bullish engulfing, right? And which coincidentally is where the hammer formation finished, where the hammer formation had its high as well. So entry just above that. It's a it's a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio again, because I just wanted, you know, trades to hit the targets soon as today, rather than going for bigger trades, which I've done, and it doesn't always pay off, right? Considering the market condition we're in right now, it doesn't like, it's not making the nicest swings, right? Even, for example, like over here, the swings weren't nice. They're coming back forth, back forth. Like this one has been a pretty nice breakout, right? And it actually went to exactly where we wanted to. So can't say that for this one. But there's other pairs, you know, not working out how we wanted to. But yes, oh, actually, I've got another trade over here for this one. It was on this massive Marubozu finish, right? The previous 2 hour candle. So I placed buy stop limit just at the high of that. It's not been triggered just yet, but let's see. Hopefully the market moves up just to trigger it, right? And it was after this spike over here was created, right? So we're safe. It's not been triggered. I've not entered. None of the trades have been activated just yet. Nothing I wanted to show was yesterday. I don't think I actually showed any trades yesterday / this morning, right? Because this Aussie dollar, US dollar over here, I actually entered yesterday and even early this morning, like around 3 o'clock-ish. So yesterday I entered around this area over here, right? It was with a pretty good risk reward ratio as well. I can't remember exactly what it was, maybe like 1 to 7.5 from what I remember. Obviously I didn't catch the whole 7.5, and I'll explain why, because I think my profits were down over here, my take profit, and obviously I entered over here. Now, sorry, it was over at this place. That was on the breakout and retest of this key level over here. I think it made some sort of like a formation further. Oh no, it made on the 15-minute, I could see a tweezer top formation at this resistance level. That's what I entered upon, right? And a very tight stop loss. And yeah, price shot down. But when it got to over here, obviously I did take like partials and put stop loss into break even, you know, whenever I needed to. If you don't know, partials I usually take at positive 50 pips. And I usually place my stop loss into break even after 30 pips, right, to make a risk-free trade. And obviously take partials, because you're securing some money from the market, right? Don't let market run away with all your money like it didn't over here, right? So if I hadn't have done that, market would have gone all the way up over here, back to entry, right? Taken all the monies. If the stop loss was just at break even over here and we hadn't taken any partials, right? What's the point of that? But moving on. So second trade was on the break of this resistance box, range box over here. Better to see on the 1 hour. And down there it was, where are we going? It was a break of this over here with obviously a stop loss placed up over there. Price came down, hit 30 pips. So I put my stop loss into break even. Market moved back up to take us out at break even. But then this was around 3 o'clock in the night. I think it was revenge trading emotions got, the best of me. So literally I just saw like, screw it, I want to enter the market again. I went on the 15-minute chart, waited for a couple of candles. I saw a bearish candle form. I was like, screw it, I'm going to enter. Took the same entry, woke up this morning. Of course, that shit is smashed the hell out. However, the initial trade that I took over there, just before bed, I did place the stop loss into, I made it a trailing stop loss, right? So instead of break even, I brought it lower because I could see this trend line holding well. And I thought there might be a reversal. So just to secure the profits, we got taken out around this level over here. And since then, price has gone up and come lower. And let's see how it plays out for the rest of the time. It's coming to about 6 o'clock in 3 minutes. The movement may just die down right now. So I may just manually close, all the trades that are open right now before the market closes for the week. What else did I need to show? I can't remember. I'll probably do another one at the market close, when I'm probably taking when I'm closing the trades, right? One thing I'm going to show you though is the trading view right now. So currently we've got the buy on the USD CAD, we've got the sell on the Aussie dollar, US dollar, right? We've got this one order waiting for the USD CAD. Let's see how it happens. Right, current balance is over there. This is current equity. It'd be nice if it was to push a little higher, right? Ideal would be to activate this, right? So it's only going to be a 50 pip TP. Still got about 4 hours in the market, 50 pips. It's but the thing is, it is a Friday, right? Let's see how it plays out. Worst case scenario, everything's into break even. That's going to close itself. If it goes into the negative, right? If everything reverses from where it is right now. Best thing that can happen is all the TPs aren't swings, right? They're intraday type TPs placed at like the next coming resistance and support. So it's pretty easy to hit those, but let's see how that plays out, right? That's it for me for now. I'll probably check in later tonight. All right, peace. All right, guys. So Friday, the 12th of June. Time is right now 9:51. Market for the week is coming to an end. And in a sense, end of our trading month, right? Because it's about, I think this was the 4th trading week since I started this challenge. Well, not even a challenge, but the journaling process on YouTube. So a lot of takeaways from what just happened in the previous 3-4 hours, right? And a big takeaway, right? So let's go through it. By the way, I've closed all the trades that were currently open, just taking the profit, just ending the week. Okay. Enter this trade, it's come down all the way over here. It's found support at this trend line, right? And it's made a move up. At that point, I should know to close this out. I don't know why I waited, right? And I've literally just closed out where the current market price is. Don't know. Maybe because market still had time to move down, so I gave it the benefit of the doubt. But a candle like this, come on, I know better. Second thing, USD CAD. This was beautiful, right? we made an entry over here at these areas. Price has gone up nicely, right? I've taken partials. I put my stop loss in break even. And then this trade was also triggered. It's moved nicely up over here, right? And to be honest, I was just looking for monetary value rather than it actually hitting the stop loss. But we got to about the 30 pip mark over there, which is nice, right? That was a 2-to-1 risk to reward on this. But when I was looking at the charts, I was out at that time. I was just viewing my phone, right? I saw price stalling over here and making this candle on the 15-minute. Initially, I gave it the benefit of the doubt and I was hoping it will come up. It came up to around over here. I was happy, right? And that's where I should have closed it. The monetary value was really good and we would have hit break even for the month. Didn't do that. I did place my stop loss into break even. That's something. That's a positive I can take away from it. But the greed took it away from me, right? And it's cost me time and time again. And this was one of the big ones because I really wanted to finish this month at least on the break even. This would have allowed me to, but greed, baby. What can we do? Big lesson learned. And for the upcoming weeks and months ahead, that's something I'm going to focus a lot on. All right, I'll probably delve deeper into this subject on the journal part, later on in the video. But for now, you know, a couple of things on the top of my head, right? Most people say, you know, let your winners run, and you know, if you're losing, close it out sooner than, you know, just letting it drag on. However, yes, letting your winners run is all good, but you know, if in yourself, you know, you're happy with where price is, where the market is, right? You've gained enough pips for your trading day. You've gained enough, you know, money, right? Because, you know, of course we trade for money. You've seen good money. Close it out. Take that trade, right? Take the money, take the profits. Don't let the market take it back. Because what happened was this went down, hit the break-even stop loss, and yeah, we made £0 from this, even though this was up at around plus £80, right? This single trade, it would have been nice, but hey ho, you live and you learn, right? At least it wasn't a loss, bringing the account even lower. Another thing I want to show right now is before I clear the charts, because every Friday at night I clear the charts and reanalyze everything over the weekend. Aussie dollar, US dollar, right? These are the potential setups that I could have taken and I should have taken, but hesitation, right? Because of the GBP Chef and GBP JPY trades I was in, them hitting stop loss, it just didn't sit right with me, and, you know, hesitant about taking the next trade and, you know, being scared to pull the trigger. But it's good. Like, I really like doing this because I can self-evaluate myself after, you know, I've been through it and just notice the things that I've been doing wrong and go ahead and, you know, make amends for future. Aussie dollar, US dollar, that was a great level of resistance. And I was initially thinking of taking the trade. I didn't. That would have been nice, taking a trade down over here. Initially, I wanted to place the profits around over here. But it's fine, right? Even up till over here, I could have closed out quite nicely. It would have been a good risk to reward ratio regardless. Euro USD, I was going to leave anyways. Although I did see some sort of resistance over here. This price wicked above over here, failed to close it, made a bearish candle. And the next candle that tried to surpass it, it didn't close past this high. Suggested signs of it coming lower. On the lower time frames, there was a range box over here as well. There were many entry points, but it's fine. This trade wasn't my top priority, but it's something that I could have taken if I was paying more attention. USD CAD though, initially the whole plan was to place a limit order, a buy limit order over here for it to go up, right? For it to make a bullish run, which it has done very nicely. Only problem is I failed to capitalize, right? So if I have a good setup, at the very least, right, because it may be an area of uncertainty, price could also break below it, place a 1% trade, right? Low risk. If it is working, if it continues to break our levels, if it's showing us signs it wants to pull higher, we can re-enter, we can scale in, right? But at least enter a trade where the risk to reward is good. That's the whole purpose of this, right? You look for good risk to reward. Yes, of course it's a risk, but the reward was there and it's something I should have acted upon. Look, to the T at this 78.6% fib retracement and good rejection from this daily key level 2. We move lower, GBP AUD. I could show this across all the pairs, right? There's such great setups. It's failure on my part to take the opportunity and act on it. The whole plan was see a breakout above this range because it was showing us signs that if it shows rejection from this place, it will push up, right? Break above the range, comes up for a retest. Around this area is where I should be looking to re-enter. I did not. I had an entry, I took it away, right? I deleted the entry, so it wasn't triggered. Pound Chef, I was entering long positions on this, even though the market suggests is going to go lower, right? Made a double top over here, rejection at the fib level, 61.8%. Bearish signals all around, right? Should have went short on this. Hindsight bias is a bitch, as always. But these were clear setups, right? It's just, I was confused with the idea of a particular trade, Euro GBP, going a certain way, and hence I acted upon the other pound pairs a particular way, right? And that kind of snowballed into me hesitating to take opportunities that other pairs presented to. But it's something that we learn from and we improve. It's good, right? The whole purpose of this is for me to evaluate myself, and I'm doing that. It's helping. This one over here, interesting. Initially wanted to see price to pull up over here, but we can notice that it was in a range box like pattern over here, especially if you look in the hourlies, and it was failing to close confidently, right, past this. A sign to go lower, which I should have taken. Euro JPY, it wasn't my priority, so we'll skip past that. GJ, I took a long at this position over here, thinking that it was going to be a retest of this support level and go up. My battery's running low as well, so let me go through as quick as I can. UJ, on the 4-hour evening star formation around this area, would have been nice to take a short, right? But it wasn't the strongest confluence, but it was still something that I could have taken a 1%er on and entered again later on. Euro GBP, I should have realized the price, the signals that the price was giving around over here, and entered for a long. Closed the short out early, right, and entered for a long, but failed to do so. But we learn, we move, and I'll be back next week for some more pips, some more moolah, and all the good stuff. All right, that's it for me for now. Anyways, actually, quickly, before the battery runs out, not that much battery. MetaTrader. This would have hit break even. Unfortunately, I didn't act appropriately. So we are down, if I can calculate correctly, 6%. 6% for the month. Not the worst thing in the world. By no means is it ideal, but it's fine, right? It's fine. You shouldn't let your emotions get in the way when you're trading, especially things like greed, hesitation, fear, and that's one thing, right? And it's fine to be wrong about an analysis sometimes, but so long as you can learn from it and realize why it was wrong and correct it the next time, that's all good. But I shall go deeper later. All right, that's it for me for now. That's the journal for this week done. Peace.
All right, guys. I know I look trash right now, but I'm not even sorry about it today. So I'm gonna just get straight into it. It is Saturday, month's ended. Well, our trading month has ended. So I thought I'll quickly go over my MetaTrader 4 like account history and stuff. just to show how we fared on the trades. So as I mentioned just earlier, 6% down for the month on the account. Not the worst thing in the world, but we'll hope to improve that for the coming months. These are all the trades that have been placed since the account was basically created, since I started journaling this process, right? So I'm gonna just slowly, oh shit, that's not even really slowly, but I'm gonna just go through it, right? Just so, just as a method of like verification, I guess, of like checking out all the trades, like profits and losses, pairs entered, all of that good stuff. I'm really sorry, like the speed might be all kinds of choppiness, but there we go. Okay, right. What was I gonna do? That's that. So that's all the MetaTrader 4 stuff shown over here, right? Another thing I'm going to do is quickly go on to my journal that I usually type up on Word document, which is over here. And as you can see, so it has been about, actually, you wouldn't know right now, but I journal one trade per page kind of thing, right? So it's usually the pair, the type of position I took, obviously the date, the entry, stop loss, and take profit levels, risk to reward ratios, and if I've won or lost the trade and by how many pips. And with that, I do a before picture of when I'm about to take the trade, and after of whether it's hit the stop loss or hit take profit or wherever I've closed it out at. I do an after picture just to see how market has played out, how price action played out, during that time period. Another thing I do is I do a reasoning for why I entered the trade, right? Just to mention all my confidences and sometimes sometimes my mindset in the trading as well. And also, whilst I've been in the trade, how have I gone about to manage the trade, right? Be it whether place a stop loss into break even after 30 pips, I've taken partial profits at 50 pips, or the stop loss was hit, whilst I slept, anything that happens, with the trade, I mention. And finally, it is what I learned from the trade, right? So be it whether if my technicals played out, okay, why did they play out? What followed after I took the entry? Or if they didn't play out, why didn't they play out? What followed after I took the entry? Was the signal not good enough when I took it? Was the confirmation not strong enough when I took the trade? Was it like, like a half-assed attempt at the confirmation? And because I saw half the chance, I went for it. Also, anything to do with like mindset as well, my emotions during the trade. So I briefly mentioned everything on this. And I've got another journal as well that I usually type up on a day-to-day basis as well, where I mention my actual emotions when it comes to trading. So for the month, we actually started off quite strongly for the first week. We took about 14 trades, I believe. And then it was, I think we're averaging about 7 to 8 trades per week. So that has rounded us up to 44 trades for the month, which is quite nice. Because I've not actually done this journaling for a while, like I wasn't quite sure how many trades I'd take. 44 does seem quite a bit too, in terms of like a weekly average, that's about 11 trades. But I know like I usually enter a lot of trades as well. I just didn't know what kind of number it'd be, but 44 for the month. I mean, I don't really know how to feel about it. It's a good thing, it's a bad thing. I don't know. Just depends on your style, I guess. I guess my style is taking more trades, and I guess that kind of shows as well. I mean, this was supposed to be picked quick, so I don't want to get too much into it, but I've taken 44 trades. Many of them have hit break even. Many of them have actually hit stop loss. Not too many have actually hit the take profit, right? But the way I go about it, I don't have a high I guess you say like a hit rate in terms of, like most of my trades hit take profit and stuff. Most of them actually hit stop loss or even break even. But the way I manage my risk is what actually comes to save me and, at the end make me profitable. So I can, I've actually watched a video by KenFX Freak on Instagram lately, and he talks about how you should calculate your statistics. And I'm going to look a bit deeper into that video and really understand, what he's trying to say and how he's telling me to go about things. He's like one of my mentors in trading as well that I really follow. So I'm going to calculate my statistics exactly and see what my hit rate is and how I'm still able to profit, right? Right now, my hit rate's definitely below 50%. I'd even say, all right, it's somewhere close to about 30, 40%, right? So I only win about 30, 40% of my trades, but I still will end up profitable, over the long term, over the month. So which is quite interesting. But I'm going to look a bit deeper into it. I might share it later in next week's journal. But KenFX Freak, he's one guy to follow. Honestly, great stuff. He's more of a fundamental analysis trader. Of course, he does technicals as well, but his fundamental analysis is really good. He's got like strong fundamentals game on it right now. So definitely give him a follow and see if you can learn anything. But that's it for me for now. Peace. Oh, hello there, guys. So this is going to be the analysis part for the upcoming week now. And I'm just going to go over it very quickly. So what we got going on over here, Aussie dollar, US dollar. It made this double top at this low high level and it's come lower, right? It seems like it does want to come further down. So what I will do is to take a short position, most likely I will wait for a break of this trend line over here and also this key level, right? And then take a short position on that. Or if it does feel like reversing because this trend line is actually holding up very strongly, I'll wait for it to break this level over here, key level over here, invalidating the double top and for it to push higher. Euro USD, a similar sort of thing going on. So it's made a third touch on this trend line, showing rejection over there. There's a bit of resistance over here as well. Now, if we can break above this resistance, right, strongly, it's going to be a long for me. Or we've got a key level over here, which has been ranging between, right? So right now it's been showing some rejection on Friday's daily close, but if it breaks this strongly, I may take this one for a short over there, right? So I always have like, before I used to be like very set on one bias for every trade, but right now I've always got, a couple of ideas depending on, see if price was to do this, then I will react in, then I will take action in a particular way. Let's go lower, USD CAD. Price made this lower swing over here. It rejected off of this fib level, which is, if we can actually see on the weekly, much better. Part of this uptrend over here, right? It's rejected that and it may continue to push higher. If it comes lower, I'll see if it wants to retest anything over here and then go higher. If not, I don't have any current key levels around over here just yet. I may look into it a little bit further and see if we can find, good support or resistance levels going on over here. And if it was to break it, then we can take it higher, right? But ultimately, on the long term, I do think it is going to move higher now. But let's just see how price plans out for us to enter any trades. GBP AUD, interesting, right? It's made a new lower high by the looks of it, making rejection in these areas of support. It made a range box previously as well, which it broke out of, retested, and now is moving up. But the move up has not been the strongest, right? Price did try to push up, then it was followed by a bearish candle, tried again, followed by a bearish candle. It's not the strongest. So I'm going to wait till this level's broken to take a long, or for this level to be broken to the downside to take a short. Pound chef, ultimately it's in a downtrend, rejecting off of fib level over there, breaking to the downside of the range over there again. Potential break of the trend line, right? So because of that, if certain other things hold up as well, certain other confluences, as price plays out, I'll most likely short this. I'm probably not going to long this if I'm honest. GP USD, again, similar. It's been in some sort of a downtrend kind of thing, was in a range, broke out, now is back in a range. I'll wait for it to come down. If it holds up against this trend line, all right, I'll take a long up to this trend line, because you see, it's made 2 touches over there, but the third touch wasn't actually, it wasn't a strong touch onto the trend line, right? It's not actually touched it. So I feel like it may actually go back for another touch and perhaps this weekly key level rejection once again. If it does, that'd be nice. So we'll take a trade up to there, and we'll see how price reacts. If it wants to break that, we'll take another long, or if it wants to reject that, then we'll take a short down. Or if price was to break this level over here, which is the downside of this range-like formation over here, and it will also be breaking this counter trend line, that will be a short. Euro JPY, I'm going to stay away from, right? It doesn't make too much sense to me right now. GJ, I'm going to stay away from this as well. Most likely, I'm going to see how price plays out, but right now, I'm not planning to enter any of the JPY pairs this week, to be honest. But let's see how we do. Euro GBP, quickly is going to be, it's in a big weekly range, as we know, right? Even on daily, it's forming ranges now as well. So we were in a range over there, it broke out, kind of retested, but it's been ranging since as well. We can see on Thursday, it kind of like rejected off the resistance over here. I don't know what we're going to think about that. And there's an inside bar pattern over there as well. Let's see. I'm going to wait for market to open, see what the price is trying to tell us, and then act on it. So it may want to go down again, right, to the support of the range, and then we'll see how it acts. Or if it was to break above this, right, to the outside of the range box, to the upside of the range box, I'm definitely going to long it up to the top of the big, weekly range box. Finally, DXY. On weekly, it's been in an uptrend kind of structure for a while, but recently, too much choppiness going on. It has made this push lower, but it has shown rejection off of this level over here. So it tried pushing up, right? And it's not made a third touch of the trend line just yet. When it has tried pushing up, it has found resistance along this key level over here and has closed below it. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. It may want to just push down lower from where it is right now because it's showing good rejection back down to the trend line. Or if it was to break this, it could come up to around this sort of next key level area, or ideally back to the initial level of 100. But that's it for me for today. I've got a lot going on today, so I can't let this run on too much as well. But I hope everyone has a good trading week. Also, trading week, not a week. Also, let me know how this idea sounds, right? So right now, I'm doing one video every Sunday, basically, and it shows my journal and the analysis for the upcoming week. Would you rather me carry that on, or because it does get quite long, right? Or should I break it down into one video on Saturday where I do the journaling, right, for the week, trading week that's just closed for me? And then on Sunday, I share the analysis for the upcoming week, right? So it basically, the two videos would be split, right? It's not too long to watch in the same time, and it could be enjoyable as well, more enjoyable. And I could probably add some more things as well. So let me know how that idea sounds, or if you have any other suggestions. And yeah, that's it for me for this week. Have a good trading week, guys. Peace.